Hey people. So the Ultrakill update has been out for 2 days at this point, and I really got to enjoy that. But also I got to realize that probably the next update is gonna be probably the last one. So probably I'm never gonna get the chance to make a video like this. So after that, I thought about making like short, like not scripted video to expose all my theories about crazy new update, like new layers, new prime souls, new everything that's coming on in the for the future of Ultrakill. Uh, oh yeah, by the way, I'm Ram. I'm the Inside Minus guy. I'm the Rubicon guy and the Judas Prime guy. Yes, that was me who made the drawing. Even though most of the Judas Prime popularity has been thanks to Duve and Land who actually managed to get the character to life. Really appreciate working with them. But yeah, as you can tell, I do really enjoy making all these crazy concepts and drawings and stuff. And I thought about making a video revolving around them, making all crazy theories that are probably never gonna be true like in the slightest because I lack creativity and I'm a stupid dum dum and okay, so also to be fair, I wanted also to express my gratitude for all the support, all of my Ultrakill project received. I wasn't expecting like Judas Prime to be so beloved. Neither like the Flash Tesseract or the even though that's not just me, it's just thanks to all of a bunch of people who actually managed to get it to life. It's been a really like a fun time working with all of them and so since I started with Judas Prime, I thought it will be fitting to start with my P-3 speculation. Yeah, I can't speak. Uh, since that seemed to be like the most hyped level in the entire game, and I can tell why because that's P2 was pretty. Uh, but yeah, and I also wanted to point out one thing that despite me loving Judas Prime and every all the support it got and everyone who worked on it, I hardly consider it a good choice for a P3 contender for a bunch of issues that I'm gonna talk about later. Also because on my side the design probably it's a bit lackluster. I hardly doubt a Prime Soul would have a straight up sign splat on his face and big demon horns. It's a bit edgy and a bit object coded. Nothing wrong with that, just a bit silly and not very Ultrakill for me. Uh, also, to start the whole conversation, I would say that Judas Friends wasn't even my first guess for P3. My first guess indeed was Ulysses Prime, because it was in the fraud layer in the Divine Comedy, and I mean fighting Ulysses as a final boss would be pretty badass because he's fucking Ulysses, and will be pretty fitting for a final boss in my opinion. But as it turns out, I hardly doubt that's gonna be the case, because for other reasons. And other than that, gonna I'm probably gonna debunk a bunch of other Prime Souls that I see thrown around. I don't think Gabriel's Prime is gonna happen because if we are already gonna get another Gabriel fight, I don't think a fourth one will be fitting. And also V2 Prime. Also, I do agree it's kinda yeah, yeah. Akita just want him dead in the grave and never wanted to touch it again. So yeah, no V2 Prime. I don't think it's gonna be a recurring character in general, because I think Prime Soul are a pretty like important character, and making like a follow-up to an existing fight would be pretty lackluster. But for all the other characters, I don't think Jesus Prime is gonna be a thing, because okay, aside from the fact that Jesus is not canon in the Ultrakill universe because the cross is used as a symbol of the Tree of Life. I mean, it's Jesus. What were you expecting? Yep, yeah, I don't think that's gonna happen. And also, by extension, I don't think Judas is gonna be that too, because without Jesus, like, who actually are gonna betray Judas? That's a bit of a problem with that. But I saw. Okay, another thing is that people might don't know is that I also made Brutus and Cassius, and the reason I made it though, it's one thing that I actually like about my own like design philosophy is that my idea is how you up the difficulty of P3 compared to P2, and I thought it would be a cool idea to have like have 3 Prime Souls come out of the Tesseract instead of 1. That would be a pretty big like twist. And with those 3 would have been like a good idea, because those 3 like were the ones in the jaws on the devil in Divine Comedy in the 9th layer, so it would have been kinda fitting. But again, with Judas out of the picture, I hardly think like two guys like Brutus and Cassius are gonna be considered, also because they're not like well known like Judas was. Other than that, there has been like other like concept like Prometheus or Adam and Eve, and I'm already gonna like debunk like Adam and Eve, because while would be like a cool idea like conceptually, I don't think like Adam and Eve like they are kinda sinner, like they are like the original sinners, but I don't think they're actually like the ones to actually rebel against the council. So I think that's put them out of the picture. Again, I don't wanna like discredit any of the idea. I'm just saying, or anyone that work on them. I'm just saying that I really think those are like probable like guesses for the prime bosses. Prometheus maybe, but I don't know. Like for another reasons, like okay, the whole like hint we got so far about the new Prime Souls is the Minotaur log. Oh, speaking of, I wanna give some credit to another Ultrakill YouTuber, which is Gromf, that made a video himself, like talking about the new Prime Souls theory. And in the video, he started up a mention how he doesn't like think the guys in the guy in the Minotaur log is gonna be the new Prime Soul.
Oh, by the way, if you were wondering what the lore entry for the Minotaur on the terminal tells us about the possible P-3 boss, I have no clue. The person who created the bull and gave it to Minos was Poseidon, so I don't really get how that would make sense with the terminal entry. 10 letters separated by a space after the 4th is censored, but I don't know what would even fit in that character count. I'm guessing that these 10 characters are completely irrelevant to whatever's going to be the boss in P-3, but I guess we'll see when P-3 comes out.
And I really doubt that, like, I do generally believe the hidden name over there is the third Prime Soul, for a bunch of reasons, but I don't really think he really meant that in the video. I just think he wanted, like, to showcase all the different ideas, and which okay, I wanna give them giving credit for actually crediting all the ideas in the video description, which was really appreciated. But yeah, I don't think overall that's but yeah, I don't think overall that's a theory that makes sense, because for me it's pretty obvious that the Aiden name is supposed to be the third Prime Soul. I could be wrong, but here's a bunch of like reasons why it should be, in my opinion. First of all, like every time there was like a new character in the lore, it was always like either a Prime Soul or Gabriel. I guess there was the Ferryman, but the Ferryman is more like a common enemy than an actual character. Other than that, there has been like many names thrown around if they wasn't like kings or like actually important character like Prime Souls. And also, there have you don't have like a character having like titles other than king. And in the log entry you can see 4 letters and then space and 6 other letters. And I'm pretty sure like the 4 letters are king, because if it's not like a second name, or it's definitely a title, and what other title with 4 letters you can go with king in that? I mean, you can find some other titles, but I mean at this point it's kinda pretty obvious that the 4 letters are king. Again, shame on me if I'm wrong. And with that will leave us with the 6 letters that okay, to be honest, if I just went with that information like prior to that, I would probably have excluded all the Prime Souls prior, because I don't think that anyone like fits the 6 letters anyway. Also, with the assumption that the first word is gonna be king, that's kinda like defeats the possibility that there's gonna be like a woman in as a final boss. Just because I think otherwise it would be Queen or something like that. And I don't know, it kinda sucks, because I was kinda hoping to have like a woman as final boss. And because we don't like really have female characters in Ultrakill, but at least yeah, the Mind Flayers like doesn't count because machines doesn't have genders, as Akita stated. And it's not really a unique character anyway. But yeah, like in my opinion, like it could have been cool. But maybe if we're gonna do a DLC, I was really hoping for that. But just I don't know, it could have been like a cool dynamic, in my opinion. But that's my personal bias. Other than that, like we don't really have much to work on. We only have a 6-letter name to work on. But with that limited information, I did have like a guess for a final boss, and that was Nimrod. Now you're probably asking who was that, and I didn't like heard about him before and like actually research Divine Comedy to make this video, but apparently Nimrod was the guy who had the idea of building the Babel Tower, and according to Dante's Inferno, he was cast to guard the 9th layer of Hell, so that's already like fitting for Act 3. But and also he was also a king, like the Minos and Sisyphus, and also on top of that, in Divine Comedy, is depicted as a giant, which I mean, I'm not like 100% sure, but so far, like with all the information we get, it's probably the closest thing we are gonna get to a tiered Prime Soul. Because that's for the fact that Supreme Husk in Ultrakill is depicted as giant, like with Minos and Sisyphus. I think one that is literally a giant in Divine Comedy, it's already like pretty close to being that in the canon. But there are a few issues, of course, with this theory, and which is that it was a biblical character, not a Greek character from my knowledge. And that's kinda like putting in a rough spot because Akita like didn't wanted to add too many like biblical references and kinda like wanted to like distantiate himself from Christianity. But again, these are all like speculation on don't say it's the right one. And also about this whole like theory thing, I don't wanna like discourage like anyone to actually the fact that the fact that I'm debunking all these ideas doesn't mean people shouldn't be allowed to like make their own like prime soul designs or prime souls theory. I'm just gonna say the ones that are more like probable to happen, like at least with the little information we got, at least in my opinion. And as I said, like I made Judas Prime, and I know, and then again I hardly doubt it's gonna be like an actual prime soul. I just thought it was cool to make it. So yeah, if you have like also if you have like different ideas for prime soul design, feel free to comment and yeah, whatever. Also, remember when I said the thing about Brutus and Cassius and Judas being all contained in the same like flesh prison? Well, I think something like that might still happen because Nimrod wasn't the only one to guard like it wasn't the only giant to guard the layer of treachery. So there is still a chance that might like, change. Like I don't know if there's gonna be like another like glitched terminal in the next layer, and it's gonna add like another like name in the terminal with a different name. There might be a chance that there's gonna be like another Prime Soul hidden. Or otherwise, I think the next hidden terminal is gonna like showcase his relationship with the Sisyphus, if the first one like showed his relationship with Minos. But again, like all like wild speculations, I don't wanna get lost too much into it. And with that, let's move on to the next thing, which are gonna be enemies. Now, with enemies, it really just a blur, honestly. And with that I mean I only had like one idea for a new enemy, and even that I don't think like we're gonna get too many enemies in the next layer, because being at the end of the game, you don't wanna add too much thing that are gonna be there like for just 1 or 2 levels. I know there are like the Encore's level, but again, like I hardly think we're gonna get any new enemies aside from we could get like mini bosses or stuff like that, but actual enemy, if there's like there's like no many, if there are like very few like levels to actually implement them, I hardly think it is gonna happen. However, I do have one idea for a potential enemy, which is not really a concrete idea. I did make a design for it, but in my free time. But it was more based on something that Akita like stated he really liked about the original Doom. So you probably know what an Archvile is if you play the Doom, and if you don't, well, it's probably like one of the most beloved, totally not actually despised by the whole like Doom community. Like it probably like involves some little demon that wouldn't hurt a fly or something. But and Akita himself like stated multiple times that he really loves Archviles. And what Archvile does, like at least to my knowledge, is like respawn like dead enemies, stuff like that. I think that will be like a really way to like implement the shader used for the puppet enemy. Like enemies die and when the thing like actually revives them, they turn to be like blood, like a ghost or something like that. It would be really cool, in my opinion. Again, more like speculation, but an actual enemy is probably close to what we're gonna get if I'm right with this theory, this game theory. And the reason why I draw it as an angel in this drawing is because aside from virtues, like we got the angel type in the terminal, but we don't have like much angel enemies. We only got literally just Gabriel and the virtue and nothing else like. So it would be cool having like a greater angel in the next layer. It's also a good way to start talking about the next thing, which are gonna be layer 8 fraud. Now for the 8th layer, I didn't like add any real good ideas. I did have a silly idea and an idea that will make more sense, but still is not like very elaborate. So with that being said, like the whole like thing that I based on my first idea, the silly one, was that indeed Ultrakill doesn't like take himself too seriously some of the times, because we got Limbo, which is like a with the simulation thing, and instead of the boat of Charon for the ferryman, we got a literal like cruise ship, and for the grid layer we literally got Egypt with the Eiffel Tower and the Statue of Liberty and the Big Ben. So most of like these like layers are kinda like silly looking like some of the times, or at least like exaggerated. So you can still have wild ideas in the game and be seen like completely normal just because Ultrakill is a wild game. So my silly idea was that the 8th layer was either like an office building, because fraud, or a casino level, kinda like Persona 5. Again, like very silly, but there are stuff you can do with that. Like I think it's one of the like live stream they made, Akita made. He mentioned like he wanted to do like some non-Euclidean stuff, I think, but he didn't want to do it in the 7th layer because he wanted like maybe add it later. And maybe having like a backgrounds like layer would have been like cool, but backgrounds are kinda like overused, so I don't know about that. But even though these are like very silly ideas, and even if I stated that Ultrakill can be a silly game at times, maybe this later into the games and after violence, it wouldn't like barely be fitting. So this is why this is the silly idea. The more like serious ideas I had is that to keep it up with the theme of fraud, layer 8 will be like a fake version of Haven, and that will like be fitting to have like a tiered like Gabriel boss fight. Now there are some problems with this, and which is the idea of like a fake Haven is already too similar to Limbo, and the other thing is that most of you probably like don't consider like having Gabriel on layer 8 would be a good idea. And I can see that, but hear me out, because I do generally think we could get Gabriel in layer 8. So why is that? First of all, because the structure of each like act in the game has been usually divided in the first act of the layer having P1 at the end, then the second act of the layer having like a colossal boss. It was first Minos and then the Leviathan, and then the third layer of the act being Gabriel, But now, with P2 dead, we did got a colossal boss, but it was in the first layer of the tear duct, which would mean like if we go in sequence, that will mean Gabriel will be in the second layer of the act. And but again, why do I think that's gonna happen? Not because well, because I don't think Gabriel as a final. I think Gabriel as a final boss would be kinda anticlimactic. Because we kinda fight him already twice, and having as a third time will kinda like feel more like a chore than anything. And I do like love Gabriel a lot. I do love his character. We all love Gabriel. But again, I think you could like add something else like at the end of it, like to really surprise you. And also another theory I got is that just lead us into the next section of the video, which is gonna be the golden armor. Now another thing which I didn't like many ideas about, but I still like figured we could talk about. But I do think it's something that is gonna be with Gabriel. Maybe you take it from Gabriel, like or you rip it off. You rip off his armor, or like take a piece of his armor with just some kind of like special quality to it. This wasn't like my original idea. Like my original idea, like many others, would have been that you take Gabriel's sword or one of those. And yeah, it wasn't like really my idea. I don't think I can. I don't think I remember when I first heard it. But that was kind of like debunked by Akita himself, because he didn't like thought having a sword would have been like very original. And yeah, I kinda think that's fitting, even though it's sad because I really did want a sword at the end. But another like theory I heard, which is I think it's kinda like probable, was that the jackhammer was supposed to be the yellow armor. And I can totally see that happening, because it would have been like it is in the first layer of the tear duct. If you see the portrait, and also it has been confirmed by Akita that when you equip the jackhammer, it replaces your entire armor, which would also make a lot more sense if you think about it. But I think the reason they changed it is because again, it would have been like pretty much a glorified knuckle blaster, and also it wouldn't like allow the players to like do some crazy stuff with the grappling hook, like or just like in tandem with other weapons. So I think it has been like the best choice to actually change it with the jackhammer. But aside from that, then what idea did we have left for the yellow armor? Well, when it comes to like arms mechanic, I usually think about and then like mechanics coming from like other games, having like very iconic like game mechanics. Like we got pairing, we got a grappling hook. So I think it's less about something that does a lot of damage and something that creates like a totally new game mechanic or a way to approach like the world. And I originally thought about like a weapons that kind of like stops time, but again, Akita like said that they don't want to add anything that is gonna like break the flow of the game. So no like time freeze upgrade. And also, I don't think it's gonna be an armor for glory kills, because that also kinda breaks the flow of the game. I think the whole idea of Ultrakill was that you can do all this cool stuff by your own without like having like proper animations to it. And there was also another cool idea which I don't remember where I heard it, was that it's an armor that you can use like to switch reality, or like or switch to another like version of the level, which if with the new like context of the Encore level and the fact that they can reuse those for this mechanic, it will make total sense. But the problem is then what are the Encore levels good for if it's like repeating with what we already have? And I didn't have like any like further idea, but until like I thought about something, is that there was like a very like early version of Ultrakill where they wanted like to do weapons that will entirely charge up based on the style meter you got, and I could be getting this entire section wrong, but now Akita did like revived some of the old ideas with the sharpshooter. And indeed you can kinda see like a very early version of the sharpshooter in one of the older footage. So I can totally see like reviving that idea too. Like it could be an arm that the more you accumulate like style points, the more it charges, and then you can like use it for a devastating attack or something, or some kind of like enrage mode. I think it would be really interesting, but again, not really much else to work on. Now we can get to the next part, which is Encore levels. The reason why I'm not talking about the layers 9 is because I genuinely like didn't have any real idea to it, other than yeah, ice level. I think we kinda all knew it's gonna be an ice level because that's. But yeah, I don't really have any other ideas aside from that, which bring us to Encore levels, and I would say the ones that we haven't already seen. And if you remember, I already made like a piece of like concept art with my theories about the Encore levels, but I wanted to go back to it mostly because I'm not really happy with some of these ideas, and also because we got some new context that would work in the new concept of the update. So 0E and 1E were kinda like given already, since we already got teasers. In my art though, I really want to express though that yeah, I did like theorize that 1E was going to be like grey and devoid of life, but what I really thought was going to happen is that the screen themselves were gonna use to like showcase some creepy imagery. That doesn't really happen in the actual level. It just switch between like different images. So I don't think I get that very well, but and I don't think I will get all the other below, because now that we have more context, we can kinda get like guess a bit better, but not like really fully. So for Tui, I had the really silly idea of having the city upside down, which is totally not stolen from Indulgence. But the reason why I did that is because was basing myself on the idea that every level was supposed to be like the opposite of the original level. So with the last being so high in the sky, it would have been like just turned upside down. Because I don't really know why, I just thought it was looking cool. But some other guy like suggested me the idea that the walls around the last would break at some point, and that will like bring all the winds inside the layer. And if you see what 0E and 1E did, it was kind of like showing the opposite of what a layer look like most of the time. But then halfway into the level you kind of like reverse it and bring it back to the original way. So for 2 it could be like at some point you could be able like to stop the winds entirely and bring it back to the original like version of Last. Now with 3, which is totally not based on Corpse from The Binding of Isaac. Everybody like pointed out, and yes, that was my inspiration. Yes, I'm not like original at all. But yeah, I did like genuinely think having like a rotten version of Gluttony would have been like the most like fitting like change. If not, then that maybe a cybernetic version of Gluttony, so you got like both meat and machines. I would say that it's too much like the meat grinder from 002, but probably been like another like fun idea. But yeah, other than that, I think a rotten Gluttony is gonna be like my main. It's gonna be like my main guess for the next Encore level. For 4E, now again this was before the update came out, but my original idea was that 4E was going to have like massive like sandstorm and be completely buried under the sand. But somehow another guy had the idea that the layer could take place during the night instead of during the day. And with how the other like layer like came out, I think that's probably the case. And maybe during the level you will be able to like turn the sun back on. Maybe have the heat mechanic back, but I'm not sure about it. Yeah, again, not really sure about this one. Now 5e, that was the one I was really proud of, because I did really wanted to have a polluted version of Vrat with still water and like no, I don't know, like you know those like petroleum like extractor like you have like in the middle of the sea, something like that. And also like the ship being completely like overgrown with like roots and like algae and stuff, like it has been there for like ages, kind of like the Titanic or something. It would have been like also really cool. But right now I generally have no idea. Like it could be also like took the boring route and being like a sea completely dried up, and during the course of the layer you managed to get the water back in. Now for 6E, that was another one that I didn't have many ideas about, and again, this is another one that was inspired by Isaac, pretty much the mausoleum flora. Now another one had the idea that Heresy is gonna be blue this time, because that's kinda like already like shown in the second Gabriel boss fight, where the stage turns blue during the second phase. And I say that's probable, but what I actually think is gonna happen after the new information is that we will find the Heresy completely turned off, like with no more fire left. And you will have to like find a way to bring the fire back to restore like Heresy to its original like shape. Also, I really do love the Heresy rework. Now for 7E, that was the one that probably didn't like came out so well in the art I made, because I was really tired and I just wanted to get done with it. But my original idea, which is I still think is very probable, is that the violence is either gonna be like completely flooded with blood, because that will like differentiate with the like way with the white more like clean version. Or a second like guess was that could be like being entirely overgrown with trees, like the dead people trees. I mean, having like this whole like a jungle or like forest, like the entire labyrinth like overgrown with red trees or red vines. But with all of this, is I think we have reached like the end of like my Encore level speculation, because the other layers are not out yet, and I can't make speculation about those. So this leaves us with only the ending to speculate, which again, it's a big guess. I still don't think Gabriel is gonna be the final boss. And I know I'm gonna be boring, but I really do think if we're gonna fight something, it's gonna be like Hell itself, or a really big machine, or like a mixture of two, like something mixed with Hell and machines, or like some kind like a complex mix of those. Because we still haven't got an answer for all the humanity died and all the machine going rogue, or like and with the P-2 RNG, we have got like some kind of like entity that this kind of like kill for entertainment, and like maybe like the final boss could be like connected to the terminal or something like that. But again, that's not really a guess. It's not like a character. It's more like an amalgamation or some shit like some Akira kind shit. And I know that's disappointing that I don't have any idea for that. But okay, there was another idea that actually one of my friends Leslie had. Was that after you defeat the final boss, there's gonna be like an extra like secret level where you escape hell, but the opposite way around. Like you got like an escape sequence. Like if you play the Pizza Tower, you remember like the final level. Oh, by the way, spoiler for Pizza Tower. But the final level is like you like going back to like old older like version of the levels too, or like or going back to the entire tower. I'm going after it the opposite way around and replay all the mechanics you have played with during the entire game. I think that could be like a really cool thing for Ultrakill, like you go in one single level, you go back to all the previous level in the opposite way, like a speedrun kind of way. It would be really cool. That's one theory. The other theory is that B1 dies because there's not much blood left, which is okay. I mean, many like theorized that, but I do have like different ideas. That after you like finish the campaign, the campaign like loops back around, like maybe time distortion stuff, but it would like make sense for like the Encore level to like, you know, justify the Encore levels, that after the end of Hell you go back to Hell like in an infinite loop, and Encore level are supposed to represent that, like how like layers are presented, like after you've been through them, they're all like just abandoned or like heavily distorted. And going back, you're kinda like restoring them to the original like shape, so you can keep like doing this loop forever, just to sustain yourself. That was one idea. Another idea is that would possibly left it open-ended for a possible sequel, was that after V1 like destroys Hell, he escapes it, and he was about to turn off, but he realized he still have like some other like kill, maybe in heaven, maybe in like I don't know, purgatory. If and then he decided to like go after that, like go on full Divine Comedy kind of style. I don't really know, but that will leave it open-ended for a possible sequel. That so I'm not gonna exclude it. Even though, to be fair, like B1 dying probably is the most likely of the options. And with that being said, like that's where all my crazy game theories about the next layers, the whatever it's gonna like happen in the next update. I don't know what's coming after that. To be honest, I would really enjoy like a DLC or something like that. But again, you could literally do anything with this game. Oh, speaking of, I really do want to see where the custom levels are gonna go with it. I'm really hyped about that. But other than that, I'm just really excited, and don't take any of my silly like theories as face value, because I'm probably extremely wrong about all of this, and I'm gonna be like baffled when the actual update comes out. But just to leave it up here so I can say that I was right if the possibility that is actually happening to me. And oh my god. Also, another thing is that in my previous video, the everything about the Ultrakill update, but I don't waste your time. I did got like a lot of comments saying that they liked my voice, and I really wasn't expected that, so I'm really happy to hear. But to be honest, like I don't really think I'm gonna be doing this kind of like videos because I don't really like doing YouTube. It's more like something like to showcase some of my projects. But I do really appreciate that you writing that, and but also there have been like other comments saying that all my it was clearly like improvised, and yeah, it is. I I don't really like making a script because I don't know, it makes me feel like really mechanical and less like actual stuff that I would think about. It feel like it's too mechanical if I have to script it, and it doesn't feel honest. It feel like very too professional for me. I wanted to be like very honest even when I kind of like do this kind of like videos, but still kind of give it some kind of like editing and stuff. And again, I do enjoy like everything criticism and stuff. And I hope you see you soon, probably with I don't know, some Inside Madness update. And also there are some people who actually still want to see like Rubicon getting patched. And again, I'm sorry if we haven't got to it yet, but we are hoping like to get a stable version of Ultrakill. And to be honest, I was planning like to have all the updates to Rubicon to release at once, like probably just a nice little package to have it all like into one single update, so we can all be cleaned up and like be fun to play for all of you, and also go back to previous levels. So, but yeah, now we're too busy with Inside Menace, with so don't expect it like anytime soon. And oh my god, I totally ruined my voice doing this, and and oh my god, I had to do like 20 like different takes just to get it right, because the microphone is so fucking hard. You can't tell like, but I'm not used to it. Okay. Anyway, thanks everybody. Bye bye.